You've been saving up for a while now, and finally you have enough to purchase that dream pickup truck. Maybe this is your first truck, maybe it's a replacement for an old one, or even a car. Whatever the case may be, you just dropped all of your cash on this vehicle, but you still want to make some modifications. Well, these are 5 cheap, budget-friendly modifications that you can make today to make this truck a little bit more customized to you. Let's go ahead and jump into it. You've been wanting a truck for a while now because it's a truck and you can do truck things with it. And so the first modification that you're going to want to make to your truck to make it a little bit nicer and more customized to you has to deal with the tailgate. Now, if you're coming from not having a truck, or maybe you've upgraded into a newer pickup, but it's still not brand new, you're going to want to do this modification because you're going to be using the tailgate a lot. No, it's not an inconvenience to have to open your tailgate and lower it down yourself, but the first modification makes things a little bit more luxurious, and that is to install a tailgate shock. That way your tailgate now has the soft open effect that some of these brand new pickups have, while not having to spend a ton of money on a brand new truck. Now, this is a modification that I first tried out here on my '02 Silverado, and I've loved it so much that I'm now putting it on all of my pickups, whether that's with my super nice road trip heavy hauler pickup or the really beat up old work pickups. This is a super cheap and simple modification that you can do for $20 or less, which is why I highly recommend that it be your first modification to your new truck. I just barely put this on my '02 Silverado, and I'll have the video coming soon if you want to know how easy and quick it is to do yourself. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Now we're here at the back of the F-150 because the second modification also has to do with the rear of your truck. This is to install a third brake light bar that goes right here underneath the tailgate and illuminates when you turn on your blinkers, your flashers, or your brake lights. If you have a little bit of extra time, you can even wire it in to turn on with your reverse lights. I absolutely love this modification because, again, it is under $20, but it really makes the aesthetic appeal of your truck pop, setting it apart from all of the other pickups on the road. It also adds a unique safety feature by letting the cars behind you that are following you, maybe in rough weather conditions or just daily driving, see you a little bit better when you do have to step on your brakes or when you are going to be making a turn. Also, if you wire it into your reverse lights, this will definitely illuminate the path behind you while backing up. I love this modification because, again, it's super simple to install, taking only about 5 minutes, especially if you have the 3 or 4 prong camper plug adapter in the back of your truck. Why an adhesive third brake light bar is number 2 on my list of budget modifications that you're going to want to do right away. And now finally, at the front of the truck, another cheap, budget-friendly modification that you can do to make this truck seem a little bit newer even is to add LED headlights. I drive a little bit at night, and quite frankly, I hate it. Being out here in Wyoming, there's more than enough wildlife along the roadways. I really don't want to come into an encounter with one. Having LED headlights, especially on my high beams, helps me see what is ahead of me just a little bit better. Now, we've escaped the realm of modifications for under 20 bucks. This, for a set of headlights, will probably run you about $50, but it is well worth it because night driving becomes a lot more comfortable with a set of good LEDs. Personally, I'm not a big fan of HIDs in trucks. I just think they're a little bit too hard to install, whereas with an LED, you get close to the same amount of brightness, and it's just plug and play. Do a little bit of research before you purchase something for this modification. Right now, I'm favoring the Oxito headlights, the #1 trending LED headlight on Amazon, that you may want to check out as a direct replacement light bulb for the front of your truck. Along the same lines as adding LED light bulbs to the front of your truck, the fourth modification that you should make today is an LED light bar. Yes, it helps if your truck has a front grille guard, but it is not necessary to install a light bar. This modification will run you anywhere from $40 to $150, $200 depending on the size, style, and quality of light bar that you purchase. My light bar on the front of my F-150 cost me $54 from eBay. It's a tri-row with, what do they call it? It's a tri-row with floodlights on the side of the bar, and it is very, very bright and works really, really well. I love this modification a ton. It's one of my favorites, and that's because not only does it brighten up the road in front of you, making it much, much safer for you to drive at night, but you can now do off-road things with your pickup, take it out camping, you can use it for work. I put LED light bars on all of my work pickups, which I still have to do to the F-250, but this is a really good modification in terms of functionality. It's also a really simple and easy modification to install. The light bar behind me on my F-150 works off of a remote controller, which took me roughly 10 to 15 minutes to put in. I've had this light bar on here for 4 years without any issues. In just the last year, I had the ambers burn out on it, so we may be considering an upgrade on this truck. Stay tuned for that, hit the big red button, and subscribe to the channel below. And now our final budget-friendly modification, the 5th modification that you should make to your new pickup, would be a tonneau cover or a bed topper for your truck. These typically run you anywhere from $100 to $300, so it's definitely on the upper range of our budget modification list, but these toppers are so nice. If you're planning on doing a lot of commuting in your pickup or a lot of just driving, maybe with supplies in the back of your truck, maybe you kind of run stuff around for a business, or even just travel and throw your bags in the back, these toppers are really, really nice to have because they keep everything out of the weather. They keep it from getting dusty and dirty, or when it's winter time, they keep them from getting wet and soaked. Super, super nice to have if you're planning on using your truck for commuting. Now, there are many different styles of bed toppers that you can get, but the ones that I prefer and that I really like are the ones that roll all the way up. That way, if you have a fifth wheel hitch or a gooseneck ball or turnover ball in the bed, all you have to do is roll that cover all the way up to the back window and anchor it down so that you can tow without any obstructions whatsoever. They also seem to give you the most room in the back of your truck bed when you don't want the topper down. Say you're putting a refrigerator or a couch or something in that's going to stand over top of the bed topper. You want something that when you're not using it, that can get completely out of the road. And as a sneak peek for a future video, a bonus modification that you should make to your truck at some point, especially if you live in the Midwest, Wyoming, Idaho, Colorado, Utah, that would be a grill guard. Now this definitely leaves the realm of budget-friendly modifications. It would cost you around $1,000. The brand that I prefer would be either Mr. Pickup or Ranch Hand. I love the Ranch Hand grills. They really, really seem to protect the truck if it does have any run-in whatsoever with wildlife. Just to put this in perspective, my parents' Suburban has unfortunately encountered 2 deer, and the truck relatively remains unaffected and still driving on the road. Whereas I had a friend hit a deer in her Suburban without a grill guard, leaving her totaled technically with like $2,000 worth of front end damage, and she could not drive the truck because of the damage to the front end and to her radiator cooling system. Grill guards are definitely worth it if you live in the Midwest. $800 now saves you $1,500, $2,000 later on. So if you have it within the budget or the means, or maybe you're looking for a larger modification to do future on, I would definitely put a grill guard on your list. Not only does it offer functionality and protection to the front end of your truck, but I also think they look super cool and aggressive, kind of adding a more aggressive and more stance look to your pickup. With all that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's list of 5 modifications plus this bonus modification, which will be included in a video later to come. So subscribe to the channel down below. If you have enjoyed this list, go ahead and smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on Instagram, link is down in the description below, and consider following me on my other automotive YouTube channel. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.
One's a company, two's a crowd, three's a party, come move around.